by the car lot when boat it. Call case with the case and a phone. They will watch you give it.
Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here between the Oakland Raiders and the Memphis Hounds. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'll run for the first time with Sony Michel. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Open man is Uzomah. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Back to the air on second down. It's Carr. That's caught by his tight end, Uzomah. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more done.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And the sack parade continues. Remember last week, they had an astounding 8 sacks, another one there on the opening drive.
And they have the mentality of just attacking the quarterback in the pocket, no matter what. They're one of those teams that says, we play the run on our way back to the quarterback. And that philosophy works for them very well.
They'll run it now. This is Charkandrick West. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now Mahomes. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. And going deep for Hill. And got his man complete. There he goes right side. And all the way in for the touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 97 yards. And his guys have taken a first quarter lead. And I think it's safe to say we won't call many touchdown passes longer than that this year, partner.
No, I would agree with that totally. And right now you're looking at an offensive coordinator. Conservative would not go next to his name. Risk taker, definitely, because he valued the opportunity to create a big play against what could have been disaster if they end up getting sacked or fumbling the ball in the shadow of their own goal line.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage. Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
And credit the tackle to Derek Barnett. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics. 4th and short, partner. I mean, this would be a really risky call. Here we are in the first quarter.
On your own side of the field.
On side of the field. But, boy, what a tone setter that would be to go for it and get it, wouldn't it?
You're gritty today. I like it.
I'm feeling it.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Kelsey, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward, incomplete pass. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
On 3rd down, that's West. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They do go for it. It's Mahomes. Got a man. It's Ross. Complete. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down.
I remember in pregame when we were talking to him on the field, and he took his gloves off and showed us his fingers. A few misshapen ones in there, and now we know why, trying to catch those.
Charkandrick West. Touchdown. Charkandrick West with touchdown number 7 on the year. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically their scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They go play action here on first down. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Michelle. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll try and run for it. Here's Michelle. And not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
Now Sharkandrick West heading back onto the field. Those are his numbers through roughly the first half of the season, and given that, you'd have to think he's on pace for a 1,000-yard campaign.
Steady as he goes, steady goes the offense. But you know what else is happening, too, because they are a team now recognized for the ability to run the football. You've got to be able to throw better now, right? Better throwing lanes, better opportunities for the guys downfield, maybe more one-on-one coverage, which you should be able to beat easier. Yeah, he's establishing not just a tone, but an identity for his team.
And that's a discussion we had a couple days ago in the team meetings, talking about this running game, opening up the passing game. We'll see if that continues to happen. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Right back to him on 1st down. Room here to run. Past the 20. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. Sharkandrick West with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. Yeah,
and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Derek Barnett in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. The all-pro safety Eric Berry in on the stop.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Now, you lady. What's it on?
On 3rd and long, it's Carr. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. Derek Barnett in there to get him. And that is sack number 15 for him on the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
And this will be taken at the 13. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now Sharkandrick West heading back onto the field. And with the day he's having as we look at some of these highlights, maybe he wants to duplicate this pregame meal next week. start on the ground with West. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now a toss. This is West. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And some room to maneuver. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Takes this to the 45. Not much space there after the nice move. DeJuan Smoot with the tackle.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. And they'll go with the ground attack here. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. Final shot before the half from Mahomes. He sets to 5, and this is caught inside the 5. So we are at, well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
The drive begins with a handoff to West. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. But a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll run again here with West. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And it'll be 3rd and 10 now. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And going deep for Hill. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown! Tyreek Hill, 79 yards. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. Butker on for the PAT. The extra point up and good. And that makes the score 28-0. Butker now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out?
It's a foot race. The 40, the 30, 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Sony Michel, 77 yards. And the Raiders make some inroads here on that deficit. Well called, well blocked, and then he just made a great play. That was an athlete going a long way.
Yeah, how about the suddenness, too, of just getting there and taking off and going? For the defensive guys, plays like that really hurt.
Hopkins with the extra point, and it's now a 28-7 ball game. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now Sharkandrick West heading back onto the field. He is hoping to find the end zone for a third time, and we sit now in the third quarter.
And nothing would excite him more, but I think even more so, his offensive line. Anytime you've got a guy scoring that many times, that means you've done a really nice job in front of him.
You're always giving props to the big fellas up front.
It's always a good idea. Those are some massive men.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Here's Mahomes to throw. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Carl Joseph. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. Ah, yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
You're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on it, not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while, to have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski. Okay, Oski was an interception.
For different teams.
Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a three-syllable word. Yeah. You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Well, they have the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. On the toss, there goes West. Uses the spin. And they across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 34 yards there and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Elsewhere, a third quarter score. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here.
Delay of game, offense.
So that'll back him up 5. So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. On the ground, it's West again. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. And a nice run to get him past the original line of scrimmage. A gain of 7. It's 2nd and 8 now. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still 2nd down.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Got some real estate inside the 30. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And down to the 16-yard line. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. As we are just about set to go here. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. Charkandrick West, his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 9 on the season. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now, no question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. Butker now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Carr again here on 2nd and 10. Sanders has it over the middle. He's at the 50, 30, the 20. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Raiders get a score closer. And sometimes those slants, they can be so tough to defend after the catch. It just happens so quickly.
And really, what gets set up there is how quickly everything happens. Ball's out of the hands of the passer in a hurry, and he just takes it and goes.
And he went all the way into the end zone. Extra point good by Hopkins. And that will get him one closer. Here's Hopkins now out to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Now Sharkandrick West heading back onto the field. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home, because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today. Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
Mahomes throwing on 4th. And going deep for Hill. It's caught inside the 25. And he's going to have this down deep into Oakland territory. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
And he rifles one incomplete. J.J. Nelson, the intended target. And now it's 2nd down. Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They'll run it with West. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, but they do keep him out of the end zone, and now it's 4th down. They converted once earlier on this opening drive, but now comes a big test. 4th and goal. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. They come up on a 4th and goal as they look to finish this one off. And they're going to go for this thing. They're not going to leave anything to chance. They're going to roll the dice on 4th and goal. They'll run for it with West. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Sharkandrick West punching it in from a yard away. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Butker now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now here come the Raiders. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But
rush coming, and he's taken down. Justin Houston. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. On second down, here's Carr. A strong run. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Throwing his Carr on third down. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Now Carr. He's got a man. It's Mitchell. He's at the 30. And he's able to get this way down deep into enemy territory. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. Into the red zone, it's Carr. To the sideline, wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch.
Well, Brandon, all receivers are trying to make sure that the defender thinks they're going to the middle of the field when they're running the out cut. On that play, didn't get it done very well because that one was batted down.
The Raiders on third down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Again, they'll throw with Carr. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Justin Houston in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Now Carr, got to have this one. Looking for Sanders, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
They begin here with a run by West. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one, maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator,